Nvidia today tweeted out that they're going to make an announcement in 21 days, and that announcement is most likely going to be their Ampere graphics card presentation. Now, I thought it'd be a good idea to take a look at all of the information online and see what we might expect from Nvidia in this presentation. I think it's a good video for people who may not have kept up with the GPU scene or looking to buy a new graphics card when Nvidia makes their announcement. So a quick disclaimer, there's been a lot of information online about the performance of these GPUs, and there's been quite a lot of rumors that have already been debunked and still a lot of valid information out there. So I've done my best to try and collect all of the valid information. Hopefully what I present in this video will hold up when Nvidia make their announcement. In terms of price, nobody's really got a estimate on the price as yet, but these are my best guesstimates based on previous Nvidia launches. So before I get into the rest of this video, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with gaming news and videos like this. Alright, let's get to it. So a few months back, Katcorgi tweeted out some information about the new Ampere GPUs, and a lot of this information still holds true. Specifically, they said that it will be on the Samsung 10nm process, though don't rule out that it could also be on the 8nm process. They also said it will be SLI compatible on the GA102 chip only, and that there's ray tracing features on all the cards, at least for launch. There were also specs revealed for a number of GPUs. GA102 would have 5376 CUDA cores, GA103 would have 3840 CUDA cores, and GA104 would have 3072 CUDA cores. Since then, there have been rumors that GA103 has been cancelled, and that would leave GA102 and GA104. There's been no information of GA104, but Nvidia like to launch an 80 series and a 70 series card at launch, and that could be a cut down GA102 chip and a GA104 chip. The cut down GA102 chip would have 4352 CUDA cores and be 20% faster than the 2080 Ti, and the GA104 chip would be 95% as fast as the 2080 Ti. Katcorgi also tweeted out the possibility of an Nvidia Titan card that has 24GB of RAM, while the RTX 3090 or 3080 Ti would have 12GB of RAM. So here I just want to pause and say that when I mentioned the RTX 3090, that is equivalent to the 3080 Ti. This would most likely mean that SLI would be reserved for the Titan card, whereas 3090 with 12GB of RAM may not have enough VRAM for some intensive games in SLI at 4K resolution. In July, Igor's lab estimated that the new Ampere GA102 chip was 627 square millimeters based on the existing Turing TU102 chip. This represents a 15% increase in size for the new GA102 chip. The bigger chip perhaps explains the fact that there is a new cooler design for the Founders Edition of the Ampere cards, which is now using a push-pull design fan configuration. There's more evidence that there will be more power required and heat released. KopiteKimi suggests that the RTX 3090 will have a TDP of 350 watts, and an RTX 3080 will have a TDP of 320 watts. This is up from a RTX 2080 Ti TDP of 277 watts and RTX 2080 TDP of 225 watts. If you're looking to upgrade from your existing cards, I would estimate around a 650 watt power supply minimum for the 3090 and 600 watt minimum for the 3080. Now, in terms of performance, there has not been much leaked in terms of benchmark scores. We do have one 3D Mark Times by graphics score that states an unknown Nvidia Ampere GPU was used. There is speculation whether this is the RTX 3090 or the RTX 3080. In my opinion, I believe this is the RTX 3080 that may have had a slight overclock, and here's why. The score is 30% faster than an RTX 2080 Ti at stock, and we know that has 4352 CUDA cores. If the unknown Nvidia Ampere GPU was the RTX 3090 with 5376 CUDA cores, that would mean there'd be no architectural improvements between generations and no improvements in the manufacturing process between the TSMC 12nm process of last generation and the Samsung 10 or 8nm process of the new cards. Therefore, I do believe that this unknown Nvidia Ampere GPU is the RTX 3080 with 4352 CUDA cores that is 20% faster than last gen's 2080 Ti. It has a base clock and boost clock increase and is faster on a per core basis. There may be between 5 to 10% performance difference between stock clocks and factory overclocks, which is why we see this card has a 30% improvement on the RTX 2080 Ti. Finally, this could also mean that Nvidia launched with just the RTX 3080 and an RTX 3070 and not the RTX 3090. I think it's possible they hold back the Titan until December until they see what AMD launches with their Navi 2X card. And typically there is a bit of a time gap between the Titan and the RTX 3090 card, as they are pretty similar products even though the price varies greatly. The RTX 3090 card will probably be launched after Chinese Lunar New Year, along with the more budget-friendly RTX 3060 card. So it's time to look at the possible pricing, and the best way to do this was look at previous launch prices of Nvidia GPUs. I've taken the die size of the GPU into consideration as this scales well with pricing. Note that all prices are the base MSRP price, and Nvidia charges higher for their Founders Edition and also third-party card manufacturers that add factory overclocks and better coolers on. With regards to the 80 series cards, the price per square millimeter has been around $1.30, and with the die size of 627 square millimeters, this works out to be about $815, so I've rounded this down to $799. If the die size is indeed bigger than last generation, one would have to expect that this generation is going to be priced higher. With flashy coolers and Nvidia's own Founders Editions at launch, these cards will most likely be going for at least $850 to $900. The Nvidia Founders Edition, which as speculation goes have the best chips for overclocking, will probably be $999. With the Nvidia 70 series cards, we don't have any information on the GA104 chip, or if indeed it will be using that or the GA102. But if it was the GA104, expect a die size around 450 to 500 square millimeters, and using a price per square millimeter of $1.20, this will be $599. At $599, this will still be $400 less than an RTX 2080 Ti is selling today, and has 95% of the performance. So, a quick recap, and all of this is my speculation only. The RTX 3080 and 3070 will be announced on August 31st and released September 17, 2020. The release date has been rumored by a number of sites already. The 3080 will be around 120% of the performance of a 2080 Ti and will retail at $799 for the most basic model. The 3070 will be 95% of the performance of a 2080 Ti and will retail at $599. Later this year, when AMD's Navi 2X launches, Nvidia will drop their Titan probably around December. If Navi 2X exceeds expectations, and that means beat the RTX 3080 comfortably, expect Nvidia to fast-track a RTX 3090 for early January. Otherwise, RTX 3090 and a 3060 will probably occur after Chinese New Year, which will be in March sometime. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think we'll get a RTX 3090 at launch? And what do you think about the performance and price information of the Nvidia cards in this video? Is it too high, or are the price increases reasonable? Don't forget to leave a like for the video, and please subscribe to this channel to keep up to date with all the latest gaming news.